All right, so I want to talk about some absolutely breaking news, something that's going over a lot of people's heads, and quite frankly, the media is not covering it. And there's a lot of significance behind this. Trump this past week designated Antifa a terrorist organization. Now, you might look at it on the surface as, oh, that's just kind of more talk and fancy schmancy stuff, and you kind of brush it aside. But what it's doing is there's a lot of implication behind some of the stuff behind the scenes, and he's even said certain things in public. A recent interview I'll show you here in a second with Fox News, as well as other implications, especially with the National Guard and other things like that. So first, let's take a look at what he actually said. So here on the 17th at 8:26 p.m., he said, "I'm pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I'm designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster. As a major terrorist organization, I'll also be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Now, this is significant because if you follow drops, this is a zero delta. What that means is from 5 years ago to the day, there's a high correlation to exactly what he's talking about in this post. If you look here on post 4732, this is dated September 17th, 2020, so 5 years to the date. If you scroll down a little bit, he's talking about here the riots, George Floyd riots, the federal, local officials having long been investigating the inner workings and revenue stream of the anarchist left-wing outlet. Okay, so arrests among its highest ranks may be imminent. It says intelligence sources pointed out that indictments have been building for some time. Listen closely to what that means. They've been doing this for a long time. A close examination of funding revenues remains under the microscope, while Antifa, again, named here, Antifa operates as something of a leaderless militant wing. Sources closely engaged in the matter said that there are identifiable top brass driving and inciting criminal activity. That is a huge statement, a huge claim on a Q post, right? Now, what's even crazier is that he explicitly states some names when asked about this. So let's take a quick listen.
That's the other thing. They have signs and they're all professionally made. Real protesters make them in their basement. And they're all the same.
So who's behind it? Do you have a gut feeling?
You hear Soros. I don't know. We're going to find out if he's behind it. But it's incitement to riot. That's a criminal act. And people are dying because of it. So it's really, it's death. So we're gonna find out. And it should have been done a long time ago.
Now, again, you can watch the whole interview, but he was asked specifically about Antifa. So don't mind the words down here. There's just a bunch of questions he's been asked and that he had to answer to. And there was another post from Vincent Kennedy that ties a couple other drops. Now, if you don't know Vincent Kennedy, he is widely claimed among the Q community as being some kind of insider. Now, you can have your opinion on what it is. And Grok even here says it in a playful way, but based on the Q forums and discussions, many speculate Vincent Kennedy username Vincent Crypt 46 is John F. Kennedy Jr., who allegedly faked his 1999 death to combat the, quote, deep state with Trump. Others link him to Vincent Fuchsia, a Trump rally figure in similar theories. His bio's AI LARP fuels the mystique, but no evidence confirms it. Pure conspiracy fun. What's your theory? Now, if you haven't seen his rallies, behind him, somebody who always wears this fiducia hat, the rim hat, he's always there at all of his rallies, like clear as day, like directly behind him. Anyway, all that to say, this person, whoever he is, I don't even have a guess on what it could be. One thing that's true is that he's been consistent with his drops for years, and meaning that he knew something, he's been foreshadowing or forecasting something, and part of the unraveling or the communication dissemination of information. And one of the drops he's said here ties to a 22-second post, which is for post 22, and then also timed at 8:41. Well, this is my time, but it's actually 17:41. So local time for U.S. time. And here, Ultra MAGA Dean Erickson says it well. So for Q post 22, you can look this up also on Q alerts or somewhere, but it states, who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military to save the republic, and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on polls. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. Q post 1941. Was Nazism ever truly destroyed? No, just renamed. Was it merely a subdivision within a larger organization? Global elites, New World Order, cabal. One finger attached to a hand. Did Antifa organically form? Continuation of Nazism? Flag design coincidence? Social push in U.S. worldwide coincidence? Global power struggle? There is a price we will not pay. There's a point beyond which they must not advance. We, the people, Q. So remember earlier, he was calling out George Soros and implying on national TV on an interview that there might be something with him, right? And Ultra Dean Erickson points out, huge data point. Today, President Trump labeled Antifa as a terrorist organization, and now VK is pointing to this post, 1941, which is calling out Antifa as a continuation of Nazism. So he believes that VK is letting us know we are crossing the bridge to where the National Guard and Marines will be called in to fight Antifa, which he is pointing to in post-1941. Let me emphasize this. Now that President Trump labeled Antifa a terrorist organization, our National Guard and Marines will be the ones that take them out. That's why I believe things are about to pop. And when they do, the masses tend to panic in such situations. And again, there will be no war, no civil unrest, and it will be clean and swift. Again, referring to post 22 with the pending subpoenas of top officials in the next couple of weeks and many patriots anticipating arrests. The deep state is backed into a corner and is going to have to pull off some huge false flags, which is why I think things are about to go nuclear. So again, quoting what he's saying here, and it may not be tomorrow, the next day, even in the next few months, but what is certain is that it's playing out exactly the way the Q posts are saying, as well as how Trump has been saying and many others in this movement of making sure that we are getting rid of this modern day version of evil, or if you want to call it Nazism. And you got to understand that the implication here is absolutely monumental, because these organizations, whether they're funded by the millions or billions or with Soros's help or whoever is there, it's causing mass havoc. Now, recently, I won't show the clip, but just Antifa members were terrorizing Charlie Kirk visuals. You can go look this up and fact check it, but they've just been like stomping on flowers, doing all this stuff. It's just absolutely crazy. And so are they paid antagonist protesters? As Trump was saying, they have these nice clean sheets that is a well-oiled machine in some sense. Somebody's printing them out and giving it to them. And you have some of the same people. If you do a deep dive on them, a lot of the same leaders and people, they're going around to the same rallies across the U.S. and they're riling people up, and you can see the same faces. And of course, they're trying to cover themselves and all of that. But it's evident that something else is going on here in the sense of them being funded, or they stand for something that is being hidden. Not a lot of people are bringing light to or calling attention to this Antifa group. And because Trump has now labeled them as a terrorist organization, they have, I guess in some sense, and again, I'm not a military war expert, some legal authority to go and domestically take care of them in conjunction with local forces and the National Guard and the federalization of, whatever it is, as Trump is making actual military moves. So it's significant in that it's going to be, as he says in post 22, or Q says in post 22, clean and swift, no war, no civil unrest. So I believe it's going to get crazy. You're already seeing boots on the ground. You're already seeing DC, Chicago, many other cities with all these people coming in, like the soldiers or whoever it is. And it's getting crazy, and nobody's really calling attention to it. They're just rioting and talking about, police brutality, this and all of that. But there's something deeper going on. And I believe it. And I believe that whatever terrorism, whatever it is out there, Trump is trying to take care of it. The White Hats are trying to take care of it. And we allow God, submitting to him and his authority, to take care of the evil. Now, we're not going to eradicate it until, Christ comes. But for the most part, if you understand and know the big picture, and good guys are on that side, and they have some power, they have some might, then they could try with all of their strategy and their planning to try to take care of it. And this is what many of us believe is happening with not only this, white hat Q whatever movement, but also just in general as Trump was elected back in 2016. This whole movement has been to get rid of this evil. And again, I don't even want to speculate or talk about the allegations of what they're doing behind closed doors, the tunneling and with the younger, kids and all of that stuff and whatever it is that they're doing in their demonic ways. And again, some people might be innocent bystanders in the way, but others from the higher ups, they know what's going on. So right now, we got to be praying. We got to be fighting the spiritual warfare, and you got to understand that there are deeper things beyond what is shown at face value. We've said before, there's a perception of reality that people have been taking in. But as things crack and as more and more gets exposed, you have a choice to believe, to see it, and for others to come to an understanding of this as they do their research. So I just want to give you guys this quick word of encouragement. More to come. I know I've been getting more attention about some of these things recently. I want to ask that you guys comment, you guys like and subscribe. We can get this out to more people. I would love it if you guys can help me reach more people as the Great Awakening, if you want to call it that, is happening right before our very eyes. And especially as the Charlie Kirk thing happened, it's expediting in some sense. People are coming to know Christ, but also they want to know the truth of like what's going on. So help me get there, guys. I'll work hard to try to post on a consistent basis. As you guys know, for the month of September, I've been calling attention to my fundraiser at the same time posting daily. So I would love it if you guys can help me reach my goal. We're just a little over, I think, 10K publicly on what's shown there away from the goal. I would love it if we can get there before September, guys. I know it's an aggressive goal, but I would love it if you guys can help me and support me. I'm going to keep harping away at this until we reach our goal. We're almost there, guys. GiveSendGo.com is the link down below. If you guys also want, alternatively, PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, all of that is in the description below. Please help me and my team, as well as all the stuff that we're fighting for, legal battles, as well as just the social media space. So just wanted to put that out there, asking for your help. Love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.